Let's go.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, the Ninja Reviewer here, and it is time to... I know it's been a while since I reviewed Dragon Ball Super, and I do apologize for missing out all the latest episodes of the Resurrection of F-Arc. And the Resurrection of F-Arc has finally come to its close. It just ended recently, around yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was the last episode for it, and it's finally over, guys. We did it! We're finally out of it, and we're finally heading in towards the Universe 6 arc. Now, a lot of hype is going towards this. Now, a lot of people saw the previews. Some of them are hyped. Some of them are just like, whatever. But to me, I'm just hyped because it's finally breath out of fresh air. We're finally at new material. And I just can't wait for it. But before I get to that, I will review next week's episode. Don't worry, because the Universe 6 stuff does start next week. So I will definitely review the Universe 6 stuff in the actual anime episodes of Dragon Ball Super. I didn't really read too much of the manga. I'm not too caught up with it, too familiar, but I have heard, and some people, the internet loves to spoil shit. I kind of already know most of the stuff that's going to happen, but seeing it in an anime format is going to be kind of better, especially because it's Dragon Ball, and what better way to actually experience Dragon Ball by watching it, because hey, it's fucking Dragon Ball. You like the characters moving, the colors, the animation, so it's fine. Even though it's Toei nowadays, likes to dick around with certain animation quality aspects, but whatever though, I accept it for what it is. But anyways, today I'm going to make a comparison only. Now, it's not going to be really too long of a video, just my overall thoughts. I guess you could say my overall thoughts on the Resurrection of F arc as a whole with Dragon Ball Super, like my overall thoughts. I will make a comparison to both and which one's actually better, which will also be in this video. So, my overall thoughts about the Resurrection of F arc in Super compared to the movie version, I thought it was actually really well done. Like, I thought the pacing and the story build-up, like the build-up to the story was definitely much more better compared to the movie. I will say there are certain differences that I liked better from the movie to the series, which I will explain in a little while. But if I have to choose which one is better, I will definitely say the series for Dragon Ball Super was definitely much better constructed, I would say, than the Dragon Ball Resurrection of F movie, I would like to say that. So there's a huge difference. So most of the stuff, while I will admit is the same thing, which I will admit, there are quite a few differences. There really is. For example, Tagoma doesn't really die in the actual Super series. In the movie, he actually gets one-shot by Frieza while he's saying, like, why don't we just forget about the Saiyans? Let's not even go after the Saiyans. Let's just, move on, just focus on other things. And, Frieza just releases the evacuation chamber thing. Then everybody blows away from space. And they all pretty much, most of the men get blown away. Toma goes pretty much out of the picture. He's pretty much out. Meanwhile, though, we see that in the actual Super, in the Super episodes, Frieza's pretty much trolling Tagoma. He's just like, bam, 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 and he keeps fucking shooting him, he keeps torturing him, and Frieza was just fucking trolling with him, which I thought was actually pretty funny, but regardless though, because we pretty much thought Tagoma was a bitch. Like, we thought this dude was like, oh, why is this dude so important? Why do we have to keep him alive? He was a scrub. He was a scrub from the fucking movie. Why do we even need him back? So what happened is that basically we find out that Tagoma's power is actually above Ginyu Force level power. And the dude, while we see him display in action, is no scrub compared to the other henchmen, which, yeah, they're pretty much scrubs. But this dude, oh hell no, this dude is on some whole nother level. Like, damn. Like, this is, if the Z Warriors were at that Namek level state, then fine. I can see this dude being a huge fucking threat. Like, are you kidding me? I didn't do this dude was, like, sick. I didn't know this dude had skills. Like, what the hell? And then, of course, my boy, Captain Ginyu returns. Now, Ginyu was nowhere in the movie whatsoever. However, like I said, most of it is just, like I said, compared to the movie and the series, most of the stuff is the same, but there are little bits of differences. There are certain scenes, certain differences that, they changed around, which, again, in the Super series, I liked better compared to the movie. But, you know, like I said, one of the differences is Togoma, and him actually having his body switched by Ginyu from the frog was actually really cool, very nostalgic, just seeing Ginyu doing all the poses, explaining his story, so tragic, and Frieza's like, yeah, it sounds pretty depressing, why'd I have to hear that? So it's like he didn't really even fucking care at that point, but regardless though, it was pretty cool seeing Ginyu inside his body again. Also, it was really a nice addition to see Gotenks in this movie. But at least they explained why Majin Buu wasn't in it though. Basically, Majin Buu wasn't in it because he was just sleeping, being a really pink, fat, lazy ass and just sleeping, thinking about probably snacks and treats and spending a lot of time with, you know, the dog Bee and Hercule or Bistri and whatever. So it's like whatever. So at least we kind of got an explanation on where Majin Buu was the entire time, because in the movie they didn't really explain most of it. They just figured like, oh, he's probably gonna come, but he never showed up. So at least here they kind of explain on why he like never showed up, so that makes sense. And what I like about the series compared to the movie version is that Krillin got major character development, because we see Krillin and he's pretty much shooken up. It's like, why am I even here? I don't feel like, you know, I'm not strong enough. Like, why do I have to, you know, fight with you guys? Maybe this was a bad idea after all. Maybe I should just stay like as a cop and just basically just do what I have to do. Like, why do I have to prove myself? That's like, why? Like, I never asked for this. But then he's like, no, I do realize I do have a purpose. I do have to protect the ones I love. I have to protect my wife and my daughter. I do have to protect them from such major threats. Even if they're a bit stronger than me, whatever, I'll still find a way to fight back. So it was a great, because even Frieza was torturing the living shit out of Krillin. Because like, oh yeah, I remember you. You're that little dwarf that got fucking blown up back in Namek or whatever. And basically, it's like, you know, he's like, yo, I'll tell you what. If you guys team up and kill Krillin, I will give you guys the biggest reward of actually choosing your own planet and even destroying any planet you want. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So Krillin was their top head. Not only that, my biggest disappointment though with the Super Series was Gohan's development. Oh my lord. Okay. Now in the Super movie, I think Gohan had a much more badass moment compared to the movie. That is one thing I will say that the movie did right compared to the series. Is that Gohan actually did power up and he was actually fighting, and he was actually pretty dominating. He was actually pretty much of a badass, even though he was in a jumpsuit, he was cool. But when it comes to the series, it's like we see him and it's like he feels like he can't really do much. Especially against Frieza. When he sees Frieza, like everybody else, oh yeah, I can just fight them, but Frieza, oh shit, like I'm gonna shit my pants when I see fucking Frieza, and you just see him, but he's fucking shooken up and shit. Like, it's like he's really at standstill mode, like he's like frozen cold. It's like, what the hell? And he just like gets nervous, and he starts panicking, and then he starts acting like a bitch, and he starts getting defeated, and I'm like, So, I didn't really like the way they developed Gohan. Like, I mean, I understand Frieza at this newest point. I understand that his power is above cut from when he first faced him, but come on now already. I mean, honestly, Gohan, you could have at least tried to be a little more brave. I mean, hell, in the fucking movie you were more braver, dude. You really were, compared to the series where they made him a punk-ass bitch. But I will say the series did do something right after that, though. This battle changed Gohan's life. It changed his character in general, and I will explain at the very end of the latest episode of Super. So, you know, that's a huge, huge difference. Oh, yeah, actually, no, I will explain it. Basically, after the big battle with Golden Frieza at the latest episode of Super, we see that Gohan just excuses himself for going home while everyone else is just, like, chilling and just, like, you know, trying to rest up. Gohan's like, yo, I gotta go really quick. I have to go see my wife and stuff, but, you know, I'll see you guys later or something. And he goes there, and he's like, and he's panicking. He's like, oh my god, my wife and child, you know, my little girl's okay. Then, you know, like, he starts, like, carrying Videl, and he starts hugging her. He's like, don't worry, guys, you know, I'll get stronger, and I will definitely protect you guys. I promise I won't let my guard down. Because I will explain the reason why is that a little bit later on. But meanwhile, when we see the actual fights, like Master Roshi going in, Piccolo and them going in, but the thing though, I'm like, the devil dude. When it comes to like that fucking demon dude, like the devil dude and shit, like I really thought that dude was gonna be on some top tier shit like he was in the movie, but then he gets blasted in one shot by Togoma, and I'm like, the fuck? Like, he just gets like one shot, and it's like all of a sudden, and not to mention, we see that Gohan's about to be in a struggle. Like, there's a beam of, I think it was Togoma or whoever that was actually gonna, you know, finish Gohan off, but apparently Piccolo actually dies. Piccolo dies in this, in the fucking series, and that is what really scares Gohan for life because of this, because he find out like, oh shit, I got protected yet again, just like I was back then when I was a kid, and it's like, yeah, so, and again, that's all gonna change, in, you know, at the very end. So meanwhile though, the fights itself, you know, everything else is technically the same when it comes to them battling Z Warriors, Goman Ham, of course. That's basically the same thing. Let's talk about the big differences when it comes to the fight between... Oh, by the way, I really do like, which is funny, is where Gotenks pretty much just like does like a little headbutt at Super Saiyan, and he hits Togoma, or the Togoma getting you directly in the balls, which I thought was funny. You know what's weird that Toei animated like Togoma doing like this big ass long stretch? I'm seeing his skinny little crotch. It's like, ah, I don't want to see that. Like, the fuck? It's like, it's disgusting, bro. Ugh. But whatever though. Moving on from that, we get to the main event, which is the Goku and Frieza fight, which is... Here's the thing. In the movie, yeah, it's pretty much the same way as they fight in the movie, but I think a little more different. It's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is they extend the fight like a little bit more in the episodes. Oh, not to mention though, I forgot to mention too. They actually do explain a bit of Frieza's training when it comes to the golden form. They actually do explain on how he actually got it. When it comes to the golden form that Frieza actually pertains, they actually do show that Togoma was his training partner. But the question is, how did he obtain the golden form? That's still a question the movie and the series never answered on that. We do know that Frieza did some intense meditation and some training with Togoma on some planet, but I'm thinking it may have to do something with Champa, which is my thing. Oh yeah, when they showed Champa, oh that's right, yeah. That was also a nice touch too, seeing the other God of Destruction from Universe 6. That was dope. That was hype as hell. So again, props to the moon for that. I'm really thinking Champa has to do something with Frieza's training. I guarantee you that. But of course, the movie and the series, sorry to say, both failed to explain that, but they did explain most of it. The thing that they did explain mostly is Goku and Vegeta's training to gain the Super Saiyan Blue, or in this case, the long version, what it used to be called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. So, they actually explained how they actually maintained that, and that was cool. I really loved how they actually showed how they actually trained and obtained that form, and how they understood the power and how they obtained the God Key, which, that was cool as hell. So again, the series did that a lot better compared to the movie, where they didn't show any glimpse of their training, besides that little bit of where they're actually, you know, doing their daily warm-up with Whis, which is the only thing. And everything else beyond that's pretty much the same. We do get the main event between Goku and Frieza, and most of it for the most part is pretty much the same. But then there's a new plan where like Goten has to take Goten, Trunks, Saint Piccolo to the lookout. Then they're gonna meet up and get the Namekian Dragon Balls to wish him back from being dead. Meanwhile, though, also after that, we see Goku and Frieza. They're actually battling each other, and most of the fight's the same. Although, at least to my part, at least to me, they actually extended it a little quite more. There were some scenes that were really nice in the series, but there were some scenes that looked kind of sloppy. And I mean, fucking ridiculously sloppy. Granted, not as bad as Episode 5's atrocious masterpiece, but I will say it's a little bit close to that, but not nearly as bad though, because, you know, it's just sloppy. You know, it's the usual sloppy mess that Toei just puts in there like most of the time to just throw it in there. Granted though, when it comes to the Blu-ray and the DVD releases, they are going to fix that, because they did fix Episode 5 on Blu-ray and they did show a comparison. They actually made a video on that. And they are going to do the same thing for the Resurrection of F stuff when it gets released on Blu-ray and DVD and etc. So they are going to fix that, don't panic. So any animation errors, they are going to remaster it and they're going to make it better from when it originally aired. So just keep that in mind, even though the animation is a bit sloppy. Again, the animation for certain fight sequences between Goku and Frieza could have been better. Even when they both went to Golden, into Super Saiyan Blue, I will admit though, some of the scenes were just as beastly and cool and awesome, just like the movie. However though, there were some scenes like some poses of Frieza look like it's like, and looks like he's constipated. I'm like, the fuck? There was also this like weird ass facial expressions from the characters. Like some of them look like they're like thin as fuck, like twigs, and I'm like, what? So again, I think the movie's quality, I will get the movie for, but it comes to the quality animation of the fights, were, I think, in my opinion, better in the movie compared to the series, because Battle of Gods arc and Super was beyond awesome. Like, it hands down destroys the movie. Like, hands down. The extended fight was just incredible. The changes were off the freaking chain. However, though, I will say the animation at the very end, when it comes to the climax of the arc, was very awesome, though, I really admit. Like, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta was really hype, it was really cool. It pretty much does end the same way, though, as it does in the movie. Sadly, not really any major changes, which is kind of disappointing to me, though. I really wish there would have been some, like, major changes when it comes to the actual ending itself, but, you know, whatever, it's mostly the same, which is kind of a bit disappointing, but whatever, though. Mostly the same, with some changes, though, however, though. From the latest episode, we see the impact where Frieza pretty much becomes a sore loser, and even though he's a sore loser, he does a really ridiculously OP trump card where he punches the ground so fucking hard he causes the fucking world to be destroyed. Like, literally, everything eradicated, blown up, fucking gone, decimated. On some Toriko shit, on some, if you guys ever read Toriko, fuck watching the anime. Fuck that shit. When you actually read, or if you ever did watch Toriko, there is one cool scene with this guy named Naki Master Jiro, where he does a thing called Grand Knocking, and he stops the rotation of the planet. Like, can you imagine, like, now in the series of Toriko, there's this one move called Big Bang that Jiro knows. Imagine if the Big Bang attack was exactly like that. Holy shit, I can only imagine that. But again, Toriko fleets nowadays when it comes to Dragon Ball. I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying when it comes to power structure, I think Toriko nowadays has it. But at this time, I would say Dragon Ball Super does have some extents close to Toriko level power. Especially Frieza. My god, that punch was ridiculous. Seeing the entire planet explode. But the aftermath of everyone getting witness to this explosion. Like, everybody getting eradicated. The people they love. Like, we see, like, Videl and Pan, you know, Pan is crying, and then all of a sudden, you know, she doesn't even know she's gonna get killed off, too. Like, she's just there rocking Pan, she doesn't know what's wrong, but she's just, like, being happy, just being with the baby. All of a sudden, you're seeing the fucking explosion, the aftermath, get close, and I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, oh, did they really have to fucking do this? And then, well, Mr. Satan and Majin Buu are just, they don't care. They could be dead and they don't even care. They could be like in heaven on cloud 9 with Jesus and they don't even fucking like know it. But the ones that did kind of experience it and kind of saw it with their own eyes, like a big flash between their eyes, was Marin and Android 18. And I guess I would say also Bulma's parents, Dr. Brief, and whatever the hell her name was. And, you know, we just see them there and it kind of looks like they kind of know it was the end. Like, I really thought they were going to do, like, a cute moment. They were going to hold hands or something like that. I would have teared up, like, shit. Like, they'll know, like, yep, fuck it. This is the end of the earth, so we're fucked. So, yeah. So, that, I will admit, was a bit emotional. When I saw that scene, that kind of made me emotional, like, shit. I think, to me, it was a emotional impact compared to the movie, where it's just like, all of a sudden, let's go. Let's fucking bail. And then the earth just, like, explodes. So, I will give it that, though. Then the very end, when I mentioned about Gohan, where basically Gohan says to Piccolo, you know what, this battle changed the way I look at things now. And it turns out I need to get stronger, I need to be close to my dad's level or Vegeta's level to definitely protect this planet. So I was wondering, Piccolo, will you do me the honor of retraining me again? And Piccolo's like, alright, well, it's gonna be rough, but, you know, I'm not gonna go easy on you. We gotta fix up that body, bro. Your fragile body, homie. We gotta make you stronger. It's like, alright, cool. So again, that was a huge change. And, you know, I think that's pretty much most of the change. You know, Piccolo gets resurrected. Piccolo, you know, actually found the idea to be a bit odd of a golden Frieza. And then, by the way, did you like the whole foreshadowing of Trunks where it's like, man, little kid Trunks is like, man, if I was there, I could have just like used kind of like a sword and could have sliced Frieza in half. And then we're all looking at him like that, like, he doesn't really know that actually did happen, did he? And it's like they're looking at him like, oh, nothing. So it's kind of awkward that the future Trunks did actually pretty much fuck him up. It pretty much happened already. And then, of course, it just ends up the same way. Frieza's being tortured by the singing, loving, fluffy teddy bear animals, fairies, and his head is the only thing in the cocoon. He's pissed. He's like, damn it. And he's like, and then he's back in his so-called hell. And that's pretty much it. So, overall, when it comes to the movie and the actual series, the series and the movie, I say the series, when it comes to development, story progression, world building, and stuff that was explained that was not explained in the movie, was definitely better material compared to the actual movie. So the series definitely wins overall. The only thing that it doesn't win, though, in certain cases, is the big battles between Goku and Frieza, which I will admit, some of the animation sequences could have been better. You know, could have been better, but, you know, it could have been worse at the same time. It could have been that episode 5, but it's not. It's just some sloppiness here and there, which, you know, for some reason, Beerus and Goku's fight was flawless and Super, I'm just saying. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, that's my only little complaint, pretty much. Like that. My only complaint is that, and the second complaint is that for both of them, well, not for both of them, but for mainly Super, is that well, actually, no. I can't really say that, because at the payoff at the end, it did change Gohan's character, and it made him develop quite well. So I gotta give Super props for actually doing that. So that's really top notch. So I can actually scratch off that hate for Gohan for Super. That was some good shit. So the only other complaint I will say that I had was they still never explained most of how Frieza got that super ridiculous strength. That's the only thing. We only know bits of it, but we don't know all of the story. So I really wish they could have done that. But regardless, though, most of everything else is still the same. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall, that's pretty much my comparison video and my overall thoughts on the resurrection of F Arc and Super. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What you guys think. And which one do you guys like better, either Super's or the movies version? And are you guys excited for the Universe 6 arc starting next Sunday, which I'm very excited because we get to meet Champa and his partner. So it's going to be really cool. I really can't wait. I heard the manga is actually pretty good, so definitely can't wait to see that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching so much, and I'll see you guys next time. This is the Ninja Reviewer signing out. Peace out. And manga fans, keep supporting much and much watch, and I'll be happy to return to actually review Dragon Ball Super episode 28 next week with a brand new arc, fresh new material. So let's go right in. So I'm ready, guys. I hope you guys are too. Later. Bye.